Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the last days. My name is Laura-Lynn Tyler Thompson, and I'm so glad to be here with you today. A lot going on. Something crazy is happening. Somebody very interesting. I just got a text from Odessa. Somebody is losing losing their job for basically coming out and doing the right thing, and that's not a story that is uncommon in the last. Oh, okay. Who is it? New Brunswick Education Minister Cardi. He has resigned in 6 days ago, and he sent a letter, but I guess it's kind of hitting the fan. And he sent a letter. So I guess what was he standing up? Oh, just one after another. But what I'm finding is that you always find your place. You always find the next position that you were destined to hold. And if I hadn't lost my job on a national broadcast television show, I wouldn't be doing this today. I would not have gone through the whole process to get to where we're at today, where I get to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And none of the scaredy cats get to tell me not to speak, because sometimes, in all honesty, God gives us the courage to do something tremendous, and the people around us don't have that same courage. And maybe it's not bad about them necessarily, except that it just wasn't their role. There has to be the people that move out and do what they know they have to do. You have to speak the truth. And we are going to have Dr. William Makis on today. And as many of you know, he has been outing the fact that he started with, I think it was a list of 14 doctors, and then it went to 30 some doctors. And now he's at a list of 80 doctors that have passed away for reasons he believes are very suspect. So we're going to get the full scoop from him. Is there anything, JT, that we should run before I head on? I always read the fossil fuel one. Yeah, I maybe do want to let you know that I came across, I got this video from somebody who said it was something that they'd never heard before, and this is a very knowledgeable person. And he said, you've got to see this about fossil fuels, like that they're maybe not from fossils. This is extremely interesting information. But I always read from my dad's Bible because my dad passed away about a year ago, and I miss him so much. We were very kindred spirits, and he understood the plight and the fight that I was in. It kind of sometimes scared him, but he knew I was a stand-up kind of person, and he'd worry about me and what I was going through. But he believed that God had my back, and he let me know that he knew that the good Lord, had a hold of me. So I open the Bible sometimes. Um, and so Isaiah 55, he has underlined this. Hello, or it says ho. I mean, it's old school, right? King James. Okay, ho. I just wanted to say hello. Everyone that thirsteth, come to the waters, and he that hath no money, come ye, buy and eat. Come buy wine and milk without money and without price. Wherefore do you spend money for that which is not bread, and your labor for that which satisfies not? Hearken diligently unto me, and eat that which is good, and let your soul delight itself in fatness. I don't want to have too much fatness going on, I can tell you that. And I'm like fighting all that off, keeping it slim, doing my best here. And but I think this is not talking about natural fatness, is it? It's talking about how there is a longing in our souls that will only be satisfied from one place. And when this is talking about, come and buy wine and milk, well, it's the kind of wine and milk that we get from having a very deep and personal relationship with God. Because how do we get through all of this when we're hearing every day, when Dr. Peter McCullough is reporting some of the things he's been reporting? And thank God, that He's such a courageous man, and we've had him on several times. And Dr. Artis puts out this information. Dr. Robert Young the other day, talking about the parasites. Like, these things are alarming to the hugest degree. But how do I have my peace? How do I sleep at night? Or maybe I don't. I put on Bible Gateway. You all know that about me. And so I listened to like hours of Psalms last night. It was wonderful. I'm never tired. I get up like hours of sleep. I just kind of lose. And then I'm not tired in the morning. I feel great. I have my coffee and onward and upward we go. But I do like filling my mind with good things because we have a lot to get through. So we've got Dr. Makis coming on. I want to show you this one video about fossil fuels. This should inform you about yet another odd and bizarre lie, maybe, that we've been led to believe. I've never heard this either. Take a listen.
That petroleum wasn't what we thought it was, that it wasn't a fossil fuel, that it didn't come from fossil animal.
Yeah.
Is it just a mineral? Is it a mineral like any other mineral? Is that how it, what would you say? What's the origin of
You see,
petroleum?
when they first found petroleum, because they were beginning to make motors and needed on axles of wheels on railroad trains and all that sort of thing. And remember, trains started in the beginning of the 19th century. Then oil went from just a lubricant to a fuel, and it made it valuable. And Rockefeller happened to be the smartest man in the business at the time, but he made most of his money, or much of it, off the transport of the petroleum as well as selling it. But one thing they realized was, because oil is putting a price on oil is like putting a price on a pail of water. No initial cost. It's in the ground, and in those days they were, some of it, almost what you'd call surface mining the oil. They didn't go down deep. So in order to get the price up, they hit on the idea that they would have to make it appear to be scarce. After we take the next few barrels out, we're probably going to have to close as well. That kind of thing. Well, a very fortuitous event. In 1892, there was a convention in Geneva of scientists to determine what organic substances are. Well, the definition of organic is a substance with hydrogen, oxygen, and carbon. And so it's usually a living substance, a tree. You analyze a dead tree, hydrogen, carbon, and oxygen, and grass, and so on, living things. Animals, we are hydrogen, oxygen, and carbon. So at this Geneva Convention, Rockefeller took advantage of sending some scientists over who said, oil, petroleum, is hydrogen, oxygen, and carbon. Therefore, it must be derived from the spoiling, the rotting of formerly living matter. And playing the game properly, when this scientific convention was over, they defined oil as the residue from formerly living matter. Well, that makes it a fossil fuel. I don't know why they decided to use the word fossil, but it says formerly living matter, it's fossil. Well, of course, today, and another thing we should know is that there has never been a fossil, a real fossil found below 16,000 feet. And you can't argue at 16,000 as a level line because someplace the ground sinks and so on. But 16 is what the scientists say, 16,000. We mine oil, or we drill for oil at 30,000, 33,000, 28,000 every day of the week. So right there, we rule it out that it isn't fossil fuel.
Wow. I think that whole thing is fascinating, and you can get it. Can we have it on the Flipboard ready for everyone to watch? Okay, fantastic. Watch the whole thing. It's about 8 or 12 minutes. And, to think that, like, he describes the amount of oil and all of that as being the second largest amount of liquid on the planet. So imagine all of the oceans. Okay, I'm assuming water is like the largest. The second largest is oil and these fossil fuels, right? Fossil fuels. So how do we okay, if we use gas, like look at how big the ocean is, and we've got all this other liquid, and yet the climate people are trying to tell us a whole different thing. So I just think it's, it's good to be informed about what is really going on. Now, if I can just show you Rumble, because we are going to bring on Dr. William Makis, and we are going to have to do most of this interview over here on Rumble. So I'm hoping to educate and inform all of you that I can't be doing some of the information that the truth of what we share is not permitted on certain platforms. Therefore, we're going to have to let those platforms go in a moment. And we are going to continue the entire interview right over here on Rumble, rumble.com, Laura-Lynn Tyler Thompson. You got the little graphic there with my blonde. Well, there's one that's kind of yellow all around my face. And then this other one. And we have the link for this in Facebook and YouTube. Although I believe that we're staying on Facebook today because they've been really good about just truthful information. And I think that's all it is today. It's very truthful information. And so Dr. William Makis obtained his university degree at McGill University. Before that, he had a bachelor degree in immunology from the University of Toronto. He did his medical specialty